Hello. So, I am on trip. I am in the LBJ National Grasslands out north of Fort Worth, I believe. It's a good ways north of Fort Worth. Came out here to, one, just enjoy the nature. Can't get anything like this within the city. It took me nearly 2 hours to get out here, and I'm gonna enjoy every minute of it. This place is great, and we'll see if I can find any good clays, or if not, I'm perfectly fine looking at this wonderful environment we got out here. I just arrived at my first spot. I see some very interesting oranges along the top layer of this ridge, and then underneath there's a bunch of this white, and there's a very bright white spot over there. So I'm gonna go look over there, but it's so interesting to see how the water carves a path through here. You can literally see the channels that the water carves through the ground. And then like this part right here it will develop a positive feedback loop and deepen itself as more and more water rushes into it. This is awesome, man. This is the white spot. This is really interesting. So let's go. Huh. This is very... And oh, look at these animal bones. These are some big bones. Looking at the surface texture, this looks like clay. I mean, just look at it. Crackly texture. When you break it, these angular chunks. This is definitely clay. So I'm gonna dig up a couple samples from here and see what this fires to later. Man, this is awesome. I mean, look at that. Such a immediate change in the color. What caused this hundreds or thousands of years ago? What laid down this layer of orange earth on here? Let me show y'all what I got from here. So it obviously has a lot of clay in it just by the texture and a whole bunch of other properties in it, but it also has a bunch of sand in it too. It's very sandy, very gritty feeling, not like a pure clay. And it's this sort of light green, grayish color. So I'm very interested to see what color this would fire to. This looks like a lovely clay to use. So I had just left that white spot over there, and I was interested in looking at this. First of all, look at the way the water has carved out these like Grand Canyon-esque fissures in the ground. This is so interesting to look at, but you can see there's tons of clay in this soil just by, oh my God, look at that. Oh, yeah. So I came up here to look at this orange. I have never seen ground that's like this saturated in this color. It's usually lighter, almost like this, but this is a deep, deep color. So I'm wondering if this will give me a decent red or orange color if it's clay-like enough. I am walking up to my second location. There's a big old bird. Let's see if I can get it. There's a big old bird flying in the air. Wonder what it's looking for. But there's some more white clay over there, over here. So I'll go pick up a sample or two and come back to you if I can make it to the third spot that I have marked. Look at this. That's really cool. Look at the way that the ground is cut out over here. There's a massive, massive deposit of white clay that's accessible over there. This cut continues down over there. You can tell this is where, when it rains in this area, it floods. Ooh! I'll have to get me a little sample of this. That's interesting. Is that like a purpley color? And there's a big old spot of white clay I'm gonna go look at over there. So that was the old spot that I was just at. And wow, just look at this. Bright, bright white clay with a harsh, stark transition to orangey colors with some of these more pinky purplies mixed in. So I got a sample from one of the spots that looks like this. I bet you this white clay is pretty similar to the white clay that I found earlier. And I already have some of that red color on the top, but wow, this is just amazing to see. One of my favorite feelings while exploring is seeing your next destination right over there. You may feel a little winded from the effort you've exerted to get out here. You know, carrying this 20-pound backpack, going over this crazy, uneven, unpredictable terrain. The joy you get when you see your destination. Oh man, nothing quite like it. Just look at this. This, I think, is my favorite spot. Whew. Careful not to fall. Ho, 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 ho. Man, yeah. You gotta be real careful watching your step or else you could very easily get yourself hurt. There's some interesting animal tracks. Man, look at that. This big old cut in the ground. Some very big trees over there. Got some tons and tons of native plants out here. I see all kinds of different grasses. I see yuccas, pine trees, oak trees, bushes. Out in the city, you just see, maybe 3 or 4 different kinds of grass, and then only the plants that look pretty. You don't get, there is some diversity, but man, this is worth every minute of the hike to get over here, every second of the drive, because you don't get better than this. Could you imagine being out here, you hiked, whatever, 40 miles that day. You're gonna settle down, camp for the night, gather some dead wood or some deadfall out here, clear off a little spot, maybe like over there, naturally flat, cleared, and have yourself a little fire. This seems like a really nice place to settle in for the night, in my opinion. This is just amazing. I don't think I saw this earlier, because I don't remember this giant white plateau right here. This, just look at that. Bright as can be, bright white, with a more yellowy up there. And you can see the oranges. So this is hundreds, if not thousands of years of deposition just exposed. Look at that. How did I miss this spot? That's just so cool right there. You don't see that. Wow. I found this chunk of what I presume to be this red sandstone, and I could only see the outside, see as this deep red pigment, so I didn't want to get my pick out from my backpack, so I tried throwing it against the ground, and This is very gritty. It's probably very high in iron. So I could probably just pack up this rock as is. Maybe this one. Bring this bad boy home and extract some of that red pigment. This rock is unique out here. I have not seen a rock this color of red. That I have not seen. I have seen all kinds of browns and other shades of red, but nothing like this. So I'm definitely taking some of this home. Just look at the contrast right there. It looks like a spot of blood in person. This is crazy. Just popped out the forest into this nice little clearing. I think there's like a pond or something over there. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a vertical ridge that's just over there in the ground, and I see that all over the place. You got you a tiny mesquite tree over here. Look at these. This place is awesome. I love the look of this field. The random ravines or cutouts in this. This is great. Let me go through what we have from today. So we have that striated white clay. We have the red rock or sandstone, whatever that was. I found an oak tree that had some really thick bark, so I got a little baggie of oak bark to go and try and make organic paint. Similarly, I found a big old thing of mesquite trees, so I got me some mesquite bark to try. Got Canyon Hill orange, some odd red. I found this green-ish mineral. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna see what it does. I'm gonna grind it up into a powder, mix it with some clay, and see what it does, because it reminds me of the copper carbonate olivine, I think it is. I found some small, like, black, very dark chunks of clay that were in a band, kind of all on their own. I have this yellow clay. It's very strong yellow color. I think it's like a mix of clay and ochre. And next to that was this like purpley red colored clay. The lighting isn't doing it justice, but this guy. And then I think this last one is just it feels like clay, but it's another white, so we'll see. Got me how many clays? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clays, 2 mesquite or 2 barks, 2 mystery samples, and I plucked a couple yucca leaves to try making a paintbrush with.